Hastings is a warm and plentiful district, a place in the sun feeding the world with its abundant riches, glorious fresh fruit and produce, award-winning wines, swimming and biking, fantastic weather and fun in the sun. Hastings has an outstanding landscape, the triple peaks of Te Mata and the stunning Cape Kidnappers with its famous colony of gannets. Hastings is the heart for many of New Zealand's favourite sporting pursuits and attractions. The business and retail precinct is at the top of its game. At the helm, its innovative, hard-working community. A diverse global and Māori culture enrich our district. Our kete is now full to the brim. Come and bask in the bounty of the Hastings district, the heart of Hawke's Bay.
Quiz, query, try, spy, take cover, go for a swim, go on a whim, go outside in and inside out. Look once, look twice, follow a compass, not a clock. Never stop discovering.
The whole Equestrian brand is founded upon the life and the way of life in this part of the world. We want to create fragrances that reflect our lifestyle here and reflect who we are as people. It's important that the environment, the fragrances, the natural waxes and everything play together to create this one beautiful thing.
Ultramox, the multi-worming solution for horses from Bayer.
Ultramox is the only triple active wormer that contains moxidectin. Ultramox is effective against internal parasites of horses, but the addition of moxidectin means that it's also active against encysted cyathostomes. Ultramox was developed in New Zealand and is manufactured in New Zealand for New Zealand horses. Available from your local vet, equine specialty or farm supply store.
Bayer, science for a better life.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Land Rover Horse of the Year for 2020, where we are now moments away from the feature event of the week, the Olympic Cup Horse of the Year. Before we get underway with proceedings, I'd like to ask you to please be upstanding for the singing of the New Zealand National Anthem, today sung with us by Erina Tumawana.
At thy feet, in the bonds of love we meet. Hear our voices, we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star, from the shafts of strife and war, make her praises heard afar. God
Irina Tumoana, ladies and gentlemen, beautifully sung for us. Well, the scene is set now, folks, to see who will take out the 2020 Olympic Cup Horse of the Year. We wish every competitor the best of luck. It's going to be a great spectacle. As I pass you over your class commentators, Fiona Hammond and our guest announcer from Australia.
Yes, well, Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup is about to get underway. On the side of Land Rover Horse of the Year, a Premier Arena, we are 21 combinations will determine who wins the Olympic Cup. The Bowl of Roses, and we are ready to make a start. The Bowl of Roses in full of the Olympic Cup will be given to the winner. There will be a red jacket as well, a significant red jacket signifying the win in the Olympic Cup. 21 combinations. It's a 2-round competition. The winner will be determined by the combination that has the least amount of accumulated faults at the completion of those 2 rounds. We've seen the Werner Degg designed course. He's done great courses all weekend here at Land Rover Horse of the Year. We started on Tuesday and leading into the culmination of the Olympic Cup here on Sunday, March the 15th, 2020. As I said, 21 combinations are battling for not only the $20,000 first prize, but the Olympic Cup that dates back to 1953. The first winner was Peter Holden aboard Starlight. Morris Beatson has won this competition numerous times on numerous different kinds of horses. His last win was a 2013 aboard My Golly Wog. That was the last time a man has won it. We go back to 2009 and Peter McMahon from Australia. That's the last time an Aussie has won the Olympic Cup. The 2 riders, Brian Burnett Grant and Emily Hayward, they won in 2018 and 2019. They will be back to see whether they can etch their name in history again on the Olympic Cup. A young lady there in the arena before you, Annabelle Francis. She rides a Gerardo GHP. She will be aiming to try and put her name on the Olympic Cup for the first time. 21 combinations, $20,000 up for grabs. 2 courses. They will have to jump 2 nigh on perfect courses if they want to get anywhere near taking home the Olympic Cup. Donated by Mrs. R.S. Fullerton Smith for the show jumping Horse of the Year. Steeped in history, as I said, it goes all the way back to 1953. A couple of times we have had a tie in the Olympic Cup, but it has to go back a long way. Gerardo GHP for Annabelle Francis. There in front of you, young lady from Taupo, originally from the South Island. She's 17 years old. She was on the Talent ID squad for 2019-2020. Spent time in Germany training with Marcus Wenz and winning in Wiesbaden. She won the Gold Tour and qualified at Takapoto Estate in 2019. She had her first World Cup start at the World Cup final in Dannevirke. Gerardo GHP for Annabelle Francis. The course is set by Werner Degg. 1.55 is the maximum height of this fence that we've got out here. She comes down now to fences 3 and 4. The catwalk opposite. Werner's built a really nice track up to start with. He's asked 2 questions. Here comes the first one. This little skinny white rail with Liverpool underneath it. 7 strides down to the double over A and B. Jumping really good is Gerardo GHP. Time allowed is 92 seconds. Annabelle comes now to fence 9. Jumps fence 9 nicely. 10A and B. Sorry, 9A, B, C, E. Nicely through the treble. It's a relatively easy treble there, is this. But he's now going to ask a couple of big questions here. Fence 10 just set slightly on the angle, just to see whether they can start. 3 fences left to go. The blue brick wall caused issues all the weekend, has this. She comes down to the last line. This is going to be interesting. The one big question on the track. Jump the triple bar. Is she going to hold? She jumps clean. John, she knocks off the last. She jumps the triple bar clean. That one there, fence number 13, will be the question of the course. Time allowed at 92 seconds, and Annabelle's time of 91.4 sets her well inside the time. Time allowed of 92. And it's a 4-fault round for Corrado GHP and Annabelle Francis. Well, not a bad way to start the Olympic Cup. Stirrups Equestrian sponsored Olympic Cup, $20,000 to the winner. Now go to Morris Beatson. Won this Olympic Cup last time in 2013 aboard My Golly Wall. Won it again all the way back up to 1991 aboard Minalinka, 1986 aboard Jefferson Jr., 1983 and 1984 aboard a lovely horse called Nationwide. He rides Central Park, 8-year-old gelding by that wonderful stallion Eurosport Centavos, and he won this class in 2015. Can they have a father and son winning combination? Central Park by Eurosport Centavos for Morris Beatson. From home, Maury, 11, comes to this last line, a big triple bar set at 1.55 m high and 1.75 m wide. Takes the 5 strides and takes the last as well. It'll be a 12 jump fault and 1 time fault over the time allowed of 92. Total of 13 for Morris Beatson and Central Park. Total of 13, Central Park and Morris Beatson. It is a 2-round competition, as we've seen throughout the weekend here at Land Rover Horse of the Year, Land Rover Premier Arena. Just had confirmation that the time allowed has been extended. Time allowed has been extended to 95. So Morris will now sit on 12 faults. Time allowed now is 95. The bell goes for our next combo. Brooke Edgecombe. She rides LT Holst Andrea. Based in Waipakarau is Brooke and LT Holst Andrea. 12-year-old bay mare by the stallion Cassell. Out of the mare Pauline. Bred at LT Holsteiners. Ewan McIntosh and the team at LT Holsteiners. 2 LT Holsteiner horses here. The Olympic Cup. They finished second in the World Cup Series this year. Did Brooke and LT Holst Andrea. Nice leap over the IRT Oxer. Sets up now for class sponsor Stirrups Equestrian. Wonderful grey stirrups. Comes to the treble now. 9A, B and C. LT Holst Andrea and Brooke Edgecombe. Comes now to the Land Rover Oxer. She sets him up now. Slightly offset off the square off the arena. They turn to the brick wall. LT Holst Andrea and Brooke Edgecombe comes to it. She's up and over the brick wall. The last line. She's got a choice here whether she holds for the 5 or pushes for the 4. She takes the 5. She jumps it clean. Oh, super. Oh, wicked. LT Holst Andrea and Brooke Edgecombe. The time allowed is 95 seconds. She's inside by 0.4. It's the important part. She jumps clear. LT Holst Andrea and Brooke Edgecombe jumps all clear. She'll be absolutely stoked with that, will Brooke. But that is only half the job done. LT Holst Andrea and Brooke Edgecombe gives her a big pat as she walks out on a long rein. It's only half the job done. Long way to go till the finish of Olympic Cup. Stirrups Equestrian sponsored Olympic Cup for 2020. So, Sildara Bonaparte for Olivia Dalton is the next in the ring. She jumped her first World Cup at the start of this year. Did Olivia. This is her first Olympic Cup. Sildara Bonaparte by the stallion Balu Duroy, bred by Sildara Stud. Up and over 6A and B. Comes to the treble now, does Olivia. Oh. So you'll hear the bell go there, the clock will stop. You'll see 6 seconds added onto the clock. She'll just receive the 4 faults at this stage. So it doesn't matter how much of the fence she knocks down, she'll get 4 penalties for the stop. She'll also have 6 seconds added to her time for the rebuilding of fence. She is allowed to represent to this combination. Should she refuse again anywhere on the course, she will be eliminated. If they lower an element on any one of these obstacles, be it a front rail or a back rail, if they lower the element in any form, they will be penalised for faults. Should they stop, they are penalised for faults. Should they stop twice, they are eliminated. Should the rider and horse part company anywhere in the arena, they also will be eliminated. Well, that's an unfortunate way for Olivia Dalton to complete her first Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup. So next combination, Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup, coming to you from the Land Rover Horse of the Year 2020. Land Rover Premier Arena, last class of the show, $20,000 to the winner. We welcome from Ashburton, Cinder Askin rides Portofino. Third in the Lady Rider in 2017. Portofino, an Australian thoroughbred by Clang, out of the Mere Queen's birthday. Lucy was a member of the New Zealand Young Rider team, competed in Sydney in 2017. She rides in the Olympic Cup. At the moment, 1 clear, Brooke Edgecombe, LT Holst Andrea. Sleep over fence 7, she turns up to the Stirrups Equestrian grey vertical. Comes to the treble now. Next little question in here. 2 strides. 2 strides. Nicely done. She comes now to the Land Rover Oxer. Lucinda Askin rides Portofino. Sets up to fence 11. The time allowed is 95 seconds. Oh, and she has a brick wall. It claims its first victim. She comes to the last line, up and over the big triple bar, gives it a rattle, but it stays up. She's safely over the last for Lucinda. It's just the one rail, the brick off the wall for Lucinda, and Portofino rail down inside the time allowed of 95 seconds. She is the fastest four-faulter at the moment, so she'll go into second place. Lucinda Askin and Portofino. Macmillan's Aridos for Simon Wilson. By the stallion Aridos out of Peace. Former winner of the Olympic Cup. We go all the way back to 2004 aboard Vita Power Swinger, Simon Wilson. Placed in the Silver Fern Stakes on Friday, did Simon. Macmillan's Aridos. First time in the Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup for this combination. Just has one rail, that's four faults. You'll see that pop up on your screen there. Turns to the IRT Oxer, Macmillan's Aridos and Simon Wilson. Comes to the Stirrups Equestrian Vertical. Comes down to the Ultramox treble. Over A, B, and C. Oxer, vertical, Oxer. Two stride, two stride. Not a huge amount of questions asked there in the treble. He's got questions elsewhere on the course. Even though he took two rails down there, he'll still only be penalised with the four faults. Jumps the blue brick wall with ease. Heads to the last line, Simon Wilson aboard Macmillan's Aridos. Comes to the last, shortens up, but also takes their last fence down. He will finish with a 16 faults, will Simon Wilson aboard Macmillan's Aridos in the Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup. So 6 combinations have competed, 15 are left to go. Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup for 2020. The first of those combinations, we welcome the young 20-year-old from Clevedon in Auckland, Amelia Forsyth. And Amelia rides Hinton Fabergé. Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup. The Hinton Fabergé and Amelia Forsyth. By the Stallion 4 edition out of the mare Galatore, bred by Dave and Bridget Sutton at Hinton Lodge, Hanoverians. Seventh in the Young Rider at Takapoto in February. Sets up for 5, 6 A and B. Down the side of the Land Rover Lounge. Nice ride through to 6A, up and over B for Amelia. Nicely over the IRT Oxer. She shortens up as she comes to the Stirrups Equestrian Vertical. A little bit deep and takes the rail behind. She comes to the treble, big, strong ride into the double. She gets away with that, with it only being a vertical, the second one. Land Rover Oxen now. Amelia Forsyth, Hinton Fabergé. Gives the wall a tap, but it stays in place. Huge stride down there to the second to last. She gives the last a rub, but she jumps it clear, and it's a 4-fault round for Amelia Forsyth and Hinton Fabergé, the daughter of 4 Edition by Hinton Lodge. Hannah Varian, she'll slot into second place, while Amelia fastest 4-fault. So just the one clear. Brooke Edgecombe on LT, Holst, Andrea, Amelia Forsyth, Lucinda Askin and Annabelle Francis all sit on 4 faults. 14 combinations left to go. We welcome back an LT Holst Dinah bred horse. This time it's LT Holst Bernadette by the stallion Ascari, 10-year-old brown mare. They won the Silver Fern Stakes on Friday. Can they go for a repeat? Not a great way to start his Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup bid for 2020. Oh, it's Steel. LT Holst Bernadette. Dairy Farmer from Dannyvirk. Sponsored by Pride's Easy Feed. See on his saddle blanket there, the Pride's Easy Feed logo. Comes now 5, 6 A and B. Seal and LT Holst Bernadette. Big push to the Land Rover Oxer. You'll see a lot of these riders with very different riding styles as they go through. No matter what it looks like, as long as it's effective. Comes to the last on 4, Rob Steele, LT Holst Bernadette. And he's inside the time allowed of 95 seconds, 92.78 for Rob Steele and LT Holst Bernadette as we see him come through here, 6AB. Robert Steele aboard LT Holst Bernadette. They finish on 4 faults. They will slot into 5th place at the moment. 8 combinations will be back for the second round. Jump clear and you're guaranteed to come back for the second round. That's what Brooke Edgecombe did earlier. She was the 3rd combination out and she nailed a clear round. Nikisha Lammers is a lady here in front of us. She rides Resolution. Out off the mare, Blushing Bride by the stallion Cassell. She was 2nd in the Norwood Gold Cup. She was 2nd in the Silver Fern Stakes. Very unlike Resolution and Nikisha to have a refusal at a vertical like that. The Wade Equine's vertical. She'll just be penalised the 4 faults though. Should she refuse it again, she will be eliminated. And by the look of that, she will retire. And it is a real shame for Nikisha. She's been in great form here, Land Rover Horse of the Year. But as we all know, those involved in any sport, not just let alone horses, horses are the greatest of levellers. Unfortunately for Nikisha Lammers and Resolution, it is an elimination. So next combination out is combination number 10. Winston Vidrien and Drew Carson. attends Waikato University studying Bachelor in Science, is Drew Carson, majoring in biotechnology and a second major in sport, health and human performance. Very, very clever young lady is Drew. From Putaruru, mum and dad and her sister are dairy farmers in Putaruru. She rides a 17-year-old brown Dutch warmblood, Winston V3N, by Ophidius of the mare Odette. First season in World Cups this year for Drew and Winston V3N. For the best performed rookies. New Zealand Cup Series. Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup. Winston V3N for Drew Carson. She comes to the Stirrups Equestrian vertical. She's then got to turn hard to go down this Ultra Mox treble. Relatively straightforward. Oxa, 2 strides, vertical, 2 strides, Oxa out. Set at 1.45 and 1.52 wide is that Oxa at the back of the treble. Nice leap over the Land Rover Oxa. 3 from home, Winston V3N and Drew Carson. Bruce, as he's known at home, is 2 to jump. Nice ride to the triple bar. She's got 1 left to go. And that comes down. Unfortunate there for Drew. Oh. Drew Carson and Winston V3N get all the way to the last fence and have a rail. Oh, she gives him a big pat though, because it is a 2-round competition. We have 5 on 4 faults at the moment and 1 clear. Those 5 on 4 faults are Robert Steele, Annabelle Francis, Drew Carson, Lucinda Askin and Amelia Forsyth. We're halfway through the Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup. Halfway through the first round and we've got 1 clear. We now go to young fella, originally from Rotorua. His dad owns a brewery, Croucher Brewery. Oliver Croucher rides a white tangy surf. He won the big young rider class at Takapoto a couple of weeks ago. Rides white tangy surf, or Paris as she's known at home. Oliver Croucher, very accomplished young rider. Won't find a more polite young man on the show circuit. Third in the young rider on Friday. He was second the year before after a mishap in his jump off course. Over A, B, and a big stretch to get the back rail at the Ultra Mox Oxa there. Ollie Croucher on Waitangi surf. Nice big leap over the Land Rover. 3 from home. Waitangi surf. Oliver Croucher. Nicely over the brick wall. Comes to the triple bar. Up and over goes Paris and just touched the back rail. And it has the 2 last rails down. What a shame. 2 rails at the last 2 fences. It's an 8-fault round for Ollie. 79.58, so he's one of the quicker rounds is Ollie. But unfortunately, it is an 8-fault round. And that'll put him in 7th at the moment with 9 combinations left to go in the first round. Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup 2020. Land Rover Horse of the Year Premier Arena. Young lady in front of you, riding in the red jacket, rides the red roan gelding Fibre Fresh for Rome. She likes to make history, does Briar. 2018, she made history by being the youngest ever winner of the Olympic Cup. She got the big bowl of roses and the red jacket to go with it. You see she's wearing today. By the stallion in duck throw out of the mare Strawberry is Fibre Fresh Verona. Goes by the name of Flash at home. Most of these horses have a show name and a home name as well. Not just horses, they are pets for everyone involved in them. Comes through the treble. Over A, B, and C. Nicely done, Briar. Fibre Fresh Verona. Starts to get a bit strong towards the end of the course. Full of his running is Fibre Fresh Verona. She's sponsored by Stirrups Equestrian. Is Briar Burnett Grant. Huge leap over the brick wall. She's 2 to go. And she too has the last 2 rails. The same ride as Ollie Croucher. Same result. 2 rails down in that last line. We watch as she comes through the triple. Jumped lovely through the treble there, and unfortunately just had 2 rails at the last 2 fences. She's slower than Ollie Croucher's time, so she will go into 8th place at the moment. Stirrups Equestrian Cup for 2020. Just the one clear. Brooke Edgecombe, LT Holst, Andrea. Arguably the form, horse and rider of 2019-2020. They won every single age group series that they could. They won the 5, they won the 6, they won the 7. This 9-year-old Bay Gelding won the World Cup Series last year. They won the World Cup Series this year. They won the right to go to Las Vegas to compete, electing not to attend. She was 4th in the Lady Rider last year. Never won the Olympic Cup though, has Tegan Fitzsimon. She rides Windermere Cappuccino. Goes by the name of a Volley at home. Up through the treble, nicely done, Windermere Cappuccino. They were the Equestrian Sport New Zealand Joint Horse of the Year winners for the 2019-2020 season, along with Tim and Janelle Price's wonderful mare Ascona M. Mare Cappuccino by Corofino 2 out of the Voltaire mare Vespa. Comes to the last. Can we get a double? Clear round. Yes, we can. Beautiful ride. Tegan Fitzsimon, Windermere Cappuccino. Well, we've got 2 ladies with a hand on the Olympic Cup each. Brooke Edgecombe on LT Holst, Andrea, and we've just seen a wonderful ride. Tegan Fitzsimon and Windermere Cappuccino. There you go. 2 rides clear so far. 13 combinations have competed their first round in this Olympic Cup. 8 combinations left to go. 8 combinations will be back for the second round. We welcome back this time Annabelle Francis. Annabelle was first out on Gerardo GHP. They had 4 faults. They sit in 6th place at the moment. This time Annabelle rides La Quinara, Warm Blood by HB Luga G out of the mare Queenie. Top round for Annabelle and La Quinara. 90.02 is their time. The time allowed is 95, so no problems with the time there for Annabelle and La Quinara. Total of 12. Annabelle Francis and La Quinara. Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup. We go now to a young gentleman from Dannyburg. Star of country calendar a few months ago was Logan. Very, very busy young fella. Logan Massey. Massey Agribusiness. Manages 4 farms with other family members. Runs Massey Stables with his partner Alexa Dobson. He rides Intellect. Bred by Kim and Greg Best. By Leo Kalon. Ten-year-old Bay Gelding. Intellect comes to the treble for Logan Massey. Over A, over B, and C. Sits on 8 faults at the moment. The Sunny Hawke's Bay for the Land Rover Horse of the Year 2020. Sees a nice forward stride to the triple bar, does Logan. And Intellect just drops the legs a little bit there and has 2 rails at the last 2 fences. And it'll be a 20 fault round for Logan and Intellect. 5 rails down and 20 faults. Logan Massey aboard Intellect. Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup for 2020. 6 combinations left to go. Cesar for Samantha Peters. Cesar NZPH. About to get married. Next weekend is Sam to her fiance Max. Full-time show jumping and horse trainer out of Cambridge. Formerly from Whangarei is Sam Peters. Rides Caesar NZPH by Fetis Dupas out of the mare Osh approved NZPH. Comes to the line 5, 6A and B. Sits on 8 faults at the moment. Caesar NZPH for Samantha Peters. Comes to the big treble. A, B, shortens up. 1, 2, up and over. C, big leap over the boxer there. Nicely over the Land Rover. Boxer for Sam and Caesar NZPH. Just takes the rail with the back legs. Comes to the last line, does Caesar NZPH, sitting on a 16 at the last. Gives it the lightest of rubs, but it stays in. And it's a 16 fault round for Sam Peters and Caesar NZPH. Just the 2 clears so far. Tegan Fitzsimon on Windermere Cappuccino and LT Holst Andrea. Brooke Edgecombe. They were the third combination out, and Windermere Cappuccino for Tegan Fitzsimon was the 13th. They are the top 2 combinations in the World Cup Series here in New Zealand for the last 2 years. And, well, they're going to prove to us that they are the top 2 combinations here in the Olympic Cup for 2020. Which way will it go? That is anybody's guess, and you'd be a brave man to bet against either one of those combinations. We've still got 5 combinations left to go in this first round of the Olympic Cup for 2020. We welcome back Morris Beatson. This time Maury is aboard Mandalay Cove. He rode in the 1988 Olympic Games in Seoul. He's a member of the New Zealand show jumping team. He's won this class 5 times on 5 different horses, and he will not win it with that. Unfortunately, an elimination there for Morris. But his one tough cookie is Morris Beatson aboard Mandalay Cove. That's an unfortunate elimination, but both horse and rider get out of the arena walking. Probably won't see Morris back at the Olympic Cup. Central Park sitting in 11th place, his other mount, and only 4 combinations left to go. Go now to Awatuna Jonesy and Todd Magna. From Lincoln is Todd. Finished his 3rd year at Lincoln University this year, did Todd. Nice big ride in there. He's going to be brave to get out over the big oxer. Great ride, Todd Magna. No, this way. Takes a little bit of a detour. Comes now Land Rover oxer. Todd Magna and Awatuna Jonesy. He's giving the crowd a good sight. And it's jumping wonderful. Can we get our 3rd clear? 4 forward ride down to the triple bar. He's got 1 left to go in this round. Can he do it? Oh, no. Oh, Todd aboard Awatuna Jonesy. They'll finish on 4 for the first round. Jumps the catwalk trust. Oxer there, but Todd Magna and Awatuna Jonesy pulls one out of the bag there. Well and truly, probably the outsider of the field is Todd and Awatuna Jonesy. Great ride, young fella. Well done. 4-fold. He'll slot into 3rd place and almost guarantee himself a callback for the 2nd round in the Olympic Cup. The top 8 at the moment: Robert Steele, Annabelle Francis, Drew Carson, Lucinda Askin, Amelia Forsyth, Todd Magna, and the 2 clears, Brooke Edgecombe and Tegan Fitzsimon. Go now to the first of our last 3 riders. The lovely Melody Matheson aboard Quarter Flex Graffiti MH by the stallion Craft Top. Bred by Matthews Hanoverians, owned by Angela Miller and Judith Matthews, ridden by Melody Matheson. Was 5th in the Silver Fern Stakes in 2019. Quarter Flex Graffiti MH. They rode in Australia in April, May 2018. Did Melody. He's a member of a number of New Zealand teams, both young rider and senior teams, was Melody. Flex Graffiti MH. Jumps the stirrups vertical. Comes to the treble now. Oh, really got out over that treble. 4 from home. Quarter Flex Graffiti MH. Melody Matheson. Nice leap over the oxa here. She turns up to this blue wall. Caused a few problems earlier throughout the weekend. Caused a lot of problems in the pony class last night. Nice ride to the triple bar. Can she do it for us? Yes, she can. Melody Matheson, great ride. Quarter Flex Graffiti MH, she nails it. Absolutely brilliant. She's the fastest of those who shoot at the moment. She will be the last out in the second round at present. She goes to the top of the leaderboard. Melody Matheson, Quarter Flex Graffiti MH, great ride. Melody Matheson, Tegan Fitzsimon, Brooke Edgecombe, those 3 are clear. The Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup for 2020. 20 grand up for grabs to the winner. More importantly, they get the red jacket and the bowl of red roses. The bragging rights gets their name on the Olympic Cup, donated by Mrs. R.S. Fullerton Smith back in 1953. A 5th in the lady rider, this young lady here in front of you, from Matamata on her other horse, Ella Marie Sun. She rides Oaks Centurion from the Oaks stud. Bicentis out of the mare 8 SB Indaria. Sarah West, studying equine dentistry. Ten-year-old grey gelding. Oaks Centurion for Sarah West. Sit on 4 faults at the moment. 1 rail down at fence 5 it was for Sarah so far. And over A, B and C. Clear over the Land Rover Oxa. 3 from home. Sarah West. Ford Oaks Centurion. Comes to the last line. Nice leap over the triple bar. She shortens to the last. Oh, she gives it a rub, but it stays up nonetheless. That is a 4-fault round for Sarah West and Oaks Centurion. So she will be... She goes to the top 10, does Sarah West. She sits into 5th place at the moment. So the top 8 sits like this at the moment. Drew Carson, Lucinda Askin, Amelia Forsyth, Sarah West and Todd Magna. Just the 3 clears, Melody Matheson, Tegan Fitzsimon and Brooke Edgecombe. Sierra Casina and Kimberly Bird is our last combination in this first round. Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup. Sierra Casina for Kimberly Bird. They won the World Cup class at Taupo at the Christmas Classic, Christmas 2019. First World Cup start and she won it, did Kimberly aboard Sierra Casina at Taupo, Christmas time. Safely through 6A and B. Nice big leap over the IRT Oxa. She turns up to the Stirrups Equestrian vertical. Tierra Casina and Kimberly Bird. Sits on 4 faults. If she finishes on 4, time may well determine whether she gets invited back or not. We'll get confirmation from the judges as to whether they bring all the 4 faults and less back. There's only 10 of them on 4 faults and less. 3 clear rounds. If Kimberly carries on and has no more rails down, she'll be our 11th with 4 faults and less. She comes to the last line. Kimberly Bird, Sierra Casina at the last. Big leap over and she jumps the last clear. Well, clear round. Sorry, 4 faults for Sierra Casina. That is our 7th on 4 faults. 11 on 4 faults and less. Sierra Casina and Kimberly Bird. They finish on 4 faults. So the current state as it plays, 4 faults and less are the following. Kimberly Bird, Sarah West, Todd Magna, Annabelle Francis, Lucinda Askin, Amelia Forsyth, Robert Steele, Drew Carson, but 3 super clear rounds. Melody Matheson on Quarterflex Graffiti MH, Tegan Fitzsimon aboard Windermere Cappuccino, and Brooke Edgecombe on LT Holst Andrea. First round of the Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup has just been completed. 3 clear rounds. Brooke Edgecombe on LT Holst Andrea, Tegan Fitzsimon on Windermere Cappuccino, and Melody Matheson on Quarterflex Graffiti MH. We will reset for the second round, but by my reckoning, 11 combinations will be back, 4 faults and less, and we'll be back very shortly with the second round of the Olympic Cup coming to you live and exclusive on Sky Sport next. So welcome back to Land Rover Horse of the Year for 2020. We are moments away from making a start on the second round. Potentially the final, but possibly not. Should we have an equality of faults at the completion of this round, we will go to a jump-off. 10 combinations will be coming back. They are on 4 faults or less. 3 clears: Melody Matheson, Brooke Edgecombe, and Tegan Fitzsimons. Should we have an equality of faults at the completion of this round, we will go to a jump-off. Riders carry through their faults. So, Annabelle Francis, Kimberly Bird, Drew Carson, Lucinda Askin, Emily Forsyth, Sarah West, and Todd Magna. They all sit on 4 faults. Melody Matheson, Tegan Fitzsimon, and Brooke Edgecombe sit on a clear slate. So, Annabelle Francis rides a Garado GHP. They jump a new track. It's a second round, the time allowed of 72 seconds. They have to jump a new track. Annabelle was first out in the first round. She's first out in the second round. The fences have gone up slightly. The track has been changed. She jumps the Sunrise triple bar. She comes down to what was the treble. It's now only a double with part B and C. Vertical to the big oxer. She then comes around to the Land Rover oxer, what was fence number 10. Nice big leap over that for Garado GHP. By the stallion Caratino. Raised in Australia is Garado, brought out by the Francis family. She comes now to the Wade Equine vertical. She turns back to 6A and B. Down the double comes Annabelle Francis and Garado GHP. Big leap over there. Last fence coming up. She comes to the Stirrups Equestrian vertical. The last fence of the track. Oh, great ride. 69.90, so she's inside the time allowed, but more importantly, she will finish the 2 rounds on 4 faults. Garado, GHP, and Annabelle Francis. Well, she will be absolutely stoked with that. Will Annabelle. Great ride, Garado, GHP, and Annabelle Francis. So they were 10th. After that, they now go to the top of the leaderboard, because after 2 rounds they sit on 4 faults. We go now to Kimberly Bird aboard Sierra Casino. Stockhand from Ashburton is Kimberly. They were second in the Takapoto Silver Tour in 2018. She sits on 4 faults as she comes into this round. She was last to go in the first round, second to go in the second round. Drops a rail there and her score goes up to 8. Another horse brought out of Australia, bred by Kerry Packer. Big leap over the brick wall. Goes to the NRM Oxer. Run over the NRM. Comes now to the Wade Equine vertical. She's 4 from home. 4 in the first and 4 in the second round. Up and over. Combination and then the last, 15. Stirrups Equestrian. Olympic Cup for 2020. Up and over she goes. She comes to the last, sitting on 8. She jumps the last, takes a little bit of a hold, but she jumps the last clear. And it is a 8-fault 2 round for Kimberly Bird aboard Sierra Casino. Sierra Casino and Kimberly Bird. They finish on their 2 rounds of 8. Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup for 2020. Winston V. Drien and Drew Carson. They sit on 4 faults. Jump the Bailey's vertical. This big leap over the triple bar. Sit on 4 faults to carry on any further in the Olympic Cup. They need to jump clear and then hope every other rider finishes their 2 rounds on 4 faults. Then we go to a jump off. Should she have a rail, that will be Olympic Cup 2020 finished for Drew Carson and Winston Vitry. From Putararu is Drew. This big leap over the NRM Oxa. Three to jump. Drew Carson, Winston Vitry in just the one. The Stirrups Equestrian vertical. Can we have a second clear? No, we can't. Oh, and she drops a rail, does Winston Vitry in the last fence, the Stirrups Equestrian vertical. It is a 2-round, 8 penalty fault round for Drew Carson and Winston Vitry in. They go to 8 and they drop to 3rd. Drew's time slightly slower, 67.84, drops her down to 3rd place. 7 combinations left to go. Portofino, another Australian thoroughbred gelding, formerly ridden by the one and only Ron Easy out of Australia, by the thoroughbred stallion Clang out of Queen's Birthday. Comes to the double, what was the Ultramox triple, turns up to the Land Rover Ox now. Nicely done for Lucy and Portofino. Up and over the brick wall. Hasn't caused any issues really here in the Olympic Cup. Not like it did in the Pony of the Year last night. 4 fences from home. Lucinda Askin and Portofino. They sit on 4 penalties they took from the first round. Can we get a second clear in the second round? Up and over A and B. Just the last to go. Oh, she's a forward ride, and she doesn't jump it clear. Portofino and Lucinda Askin, they too have 1 rail down. It's a Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup, and it's a Stirrups Equestrian vertical that seems to be causing the problems in this second round so far. She goes into 4th place with her time of 69.78 and a 2-round total of 8. 4 combinations have gone. 6 combinations left to go. Amelia Forsyth rides Hinton Fabergé by the Stallion 4 edition, bred by Hinton Lodge Hanoverians. I know Dave and Bridget Sutton are on site. Bridget will be watching nervously from the sideline. Amelia's mum, Mitty, also watching from the sideline. Very nervously will be watching, willing for the best. Amelia will be doing everything she can with the knowledge she has to guide Hinton Fabergé to a clear second round. Nicely over the NRM Oxa for Hinton Fabergé and 20-year-old Amelia Forsyth. 4 from home. Nicely over the Wade Equine vertical. The time's 72 seconds, the time allowed. That's not really an issue here in the second round. Nicely over the 2. Can we go for 2 clears in the second round? Fingers crossed. She shortens up. Stirrups Equestrian certainly getting their sponsorship money out of this class, and takes a rail at the Stirrups Equestrian vertical. Hinton, Fabergé and Amelia Forsyth, they join the ever-growing list of 4 faults. Annabelle Francis, well, she came in at 10th place, and at the moment she sits on top of the leaderboard after 5 combinations have gone and 5 are left to go. Annabelle Francis and Gerardo GHP. She'll be getting nervous and more nervous out in the ring as she watches from the IRT riders' tent. She will be hoping for the best for these riders, but there'll be a little bit of it. The competitive side will be hoping everyone else has a rail. We welcome now Sarah West and Oaks Centurion. They also carry 4 through from the first round. She turns up to the double, which was part of the treble. Comes now to the Land Rover Oxer. Beautiful jump there. Oaks Centurion for Sarah West from Matamata. Works for Tiakau Racing. Another Australian bred horse. If she jumps clear, we potentially go to a 3rd round. Oh, unfortunate there. She takes the rail at 6A. She comes down to the last. And unfortunately, she also takes the last as well. So it's an 8-fault round for Sarah West. We'll add that to her first round of 4. And it's a 12-fault round for Sarah West and Oaks Centurion. Well, arguably the surprise of the first round. Every class has got an outsider, and this young fella certainly wouldn't have thought he was. Awatuni Jonesy and Todd Magnet. They unfortunately have a rail there at the first fence. Pushes off the rail with his back legs, does Awatuna Jonesy. Sits on 12 at the moment, has had 8 faults in this round. Carries through the 4 from the first round with 3 combinations to follow. Those are our 3 clears. That's when the pressure really, really starts to build on our final 3 combinations. Todd doing a great job here on Awatuna Jonesy. He's 3 from home. Todd Magna, Awatuna Jonesy, jumps A and B. He comes to the Stirrups Equestrian vertical, the last on the second track. Oh, he jumps it clear. That's great, Todd. Clear the last. He'll have 8 in the second round. He'll finish on a 2-round total of 12. And Awatuna Jonesy will go into 6th place at this stage with 3 combinations left to go. Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup 2020. $20,000 to the winner. 15 to 2nd, 12 to 3rd, 10 to 4th. LT Holst Andrea Brooke Edgecombe. They gave us our first clear round in the first round. Can they give us our first double clear? Brooke Edgecombe, they finished 2nd in the World Cup Series the last 2 years here in New Zealand. 2nd to Tegan Fitzsimon, who will be out very shortly on Windermere Cappuccino. Can LT Holst Andrea and Brooke Edgecombe get themselves a win? She finished 4th in the Pony of the Year in 1996 aboard a pony Galliano, did Brooke. Can she bag the big one? The breeding potential for LT Holst Andrea will go through the roof if she wins the Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup. Can she jump clear? Beautiful leap through there. Last fence, the Stirrups Equestrian. Vertical, yes! Excellent, Brooke Edgecombe. Oh, great ride. She gave us a first clear. She gives us a first double clear. Brooke Edgecombe. Well, she's done the hard work in the second round. My word, Brooke Edgecombe aboard LT Holst Andrea. Oh, you couldn't ask for any better. But she might be smiling now, but it won't be for long if another of these combinations jumps clear, because we'll go to a jump off. She's done the hard work, has Brooke. The others now have to go and beat her. She keeps her hand on the Olympic Cup. The wonderful bowl of red roses is getting closer and closer to Brooke Edgecombe's grasp. But this combination here, they beat them in the World Cup final 2018-2019. They beat them in the World Cup final 2019-2020. They are arguably the best combination in the country over the last 2 years. Windermere Cappuccino, the Tegan Fitzsimon. They were named the Equestrian Sport New Zealand Horse of the Year. Joint winners with Tim and Janelle Price's Ascona M last night at the Hall of Fame dinner. Oh, gives it a rub. Windermere Cappuccino jumped the World Cup Series here last year and did not have a rail down. The whole World Cup Series. She shortens up. Can they give us a third round? No, not yet. Brooke Edgecombe, I think her heart has just dropped slightly. Windermere Cappuccino, unfortunate there. One rail at 6A. Goes into second place with 4 faults. But we have one more combination left to go. We can still go to a third round. Don't pack up just yet, folks, because this is about to get interesting. The equation's really simple. Melody Matheson, how bad do you want it? If you jump clear, we go to a jump off, and it's going to be exciting. We didn't go to a jump off last year, but the year before we did. Brooke Edgecombe, she's probably not even going to be able to watch just yet. She's got to keep her composure, because if she has to go to a third round, she needs to get on and warm up LT Holst Andrea. Should Melody have a rail, Brooke is going to go and jump through the roof. Brooke Edgecombe, LT Holst Andrea, Melody Matheson and Quarterflex Graffiti MH. We watch with anticipation. Big ride down to the triple bar. Turns up, or slips a little bit at the corner. Oh, big leap over the oxer. She has to jump this clean. Quarterflex Graffiti MH. Melody Matheson shortens up to the blue brick wall. Oh, gives it a rub and a rocks and rolls, but it stays up. Nice big leap over the NRM oxer. 4 fences from home. Here we go. She can't afford to have a rail. If she jumps clear, we go to a third round. Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup. The Stirrups Equestrian fence has caused problems this whole round. Oh, pony. She comes to the last. Have we got a third round, or have we got a winner? Whoa. Oh, yes! We got a third round. Oh, yeah. Melody Matheson. Oh, great ride. She left everybody's hearts in their mouth. Coming to the Stirrups Equestrian last fence. My word. Oh, what a great way. Yes, we have a third round. It's a jump off. against the clock. You couldn't ask for any better. We had 3 in the first round jump clear, and we had to wait till the last one went. My word. Oh, this is exciting. Melody Matheson versus Brooke Edgecombe. LT host Andrea versus Quarter Flex Graffiti MH. Oh, this is going to be exciting. Land Rover Horse of the Year 2020. Land Rover Premier Arena for the Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup. We have a jump off. Brooke Edgecombe versus Melody Matheson. LT host Andrea versus Quarter Flex Graffiti. We will reset the course and we'll be back with you very shortly for what is going to be a wonderful, wonderful third round. Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup, third round. Back with you shortly. Land Rover Horse of the Year. her. And the last fence. Unfortunately, the last fence is the Stirrups Equestrian vertical. It's knocked a few out today. Will it be the one that determines who will win Olympic Cup for 2020? Where's the glory going to go?
Well, they're both winners even before the end of the class day. We've seen some fantastic show jumping from these two combinations, from all of the combinations actually. So the first of the two coming back to jump off, Brooke Edgecombe, LT Holst Andrea. They finished in 4th place in the Olympic Cup last year. It'll definitely be a better result for them this year, regardless of how things go here in the Premier Arena.
The bell goes. Brooke Edgecombe, LT Holst Andrea. The pressure is on both of these riders. Can we get a triple clear, and will that be the determining factor? Watch the clock, because that will be the telling point if they end up on equality of faults. Great ride to the triple bar. Brooke Edgecombe, LT Holst Andrea. Shortens up to the Ultramox. She's going to have to push down to the Land Rover double. She's then got a big run to 6A and B. Nice leap. Long run down here. Brooke pushes. She shortens Andrea up. Over A gives it a rub, but it's up nonetheless. There's 2 from home. She jumps that clear. She turns up to the Stirrups Equestrian. Yes, she's done it. Brooke Edgecombe, LT Holst Andrea. Oh, you can see the smile from here. Brooke Edgecombe, 50.53 is the time, but more importantly, she is all clear. Man, that puts some pressure on our next rider.
Melody Matheson, runner-up last year in the Horse of the Year Olympic Cup. Will she be the bridesmaid again this year, or will she be the bride? Time to beat, 50.53 seconds.
Equation for Melody, relatively straightforward. Jump clear, finish quicker than 50.53. Watch the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Quarterflex Graffiti MH. She is quick. Melody Matheson will want this win. She'll want the Olympic Cup in the bowl of red roses. She's got to jump clear. She gave it a rub, but it's up. She's going for the time. She shortens to the Ultramox vertical. Nicely over. She lengthens down the Land Rover arena towards the Land Rover Oxer. Here she comes. Oh! Well done, Melody Matheson and Quarterflex Graffiti MH. She elects to retire. She knows full well that she can't win the Stirrups Equestrian Olympic Cup. The greatest of competitors is Melody. Concedes defeat there. But my word, LT Holst Andrea and Brooke Edgecombe. She takes home the win, the biggest win of Brooke's career. $20,000 in the bank account. More importantly, she gets all the kudos. There'll be interviews for the rest of the day with Brooke Edgecombe. She won't know what to say. Brooke Edgecombe, LT Holst Andrea. They were bridesmaids in the World Cup Series for the last 2 years. They get their time to shine. We'll be there very shortly with presentations. The voice of Horse of the Year, Warwick Allen. So Land Rover Horse of the Year 2020. What a wonderful way to finish. We had to go to a 3-round jump off, and Brooke Edgecombe on LT Holst Andrea. Triple clear. The only way they could win it was that, and they did. Melody Matheson, unfortunately a rail there at the Land Rover Oxa. Brooke Edgecombe and LT Holst Andrea. My word, what a great win. The biggest win of her career. Not only $20,000, but she gets the red jacket and the bowl full of red roses. She gets the Olympic Cup and she gets to etch her name in history. They are adorning LT Holst Andrea with the covers and ribbons, and we'll shoot down for presentations with Warwick Allen and unbelievably excited Brooke Edgecombe and LT Holst Andrea.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is presentation time here in the Premier Arena. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome into our presentation our place getters in the Stirrups Olympic Cup for 2020. On hand to assist with our presentation, it's a very warm welcome to Caitlin and all the team from Stirrups Equestrian, who will present Brooke with the winner's red jacket. Also to Ms. Jennifer Miller, Equestrian Sport New Zealand patron, who will present the Olympic Cup Rose Bowl. And also a warm welcome to Steve Kensington from Land Rover, who will present a bottle of GH Mum. Before we get underway with the presentation, I'd like to hand you over to Steve to say a few words.
Thank you, and welcome everybody. I think that Olympic Cup was something special, so congratulations to Brooke and all the connections on a fantastic ride. Look, on behalf of Land Rover New Zealand, we're delighted to be associated with such a world-class event. I've been spending quite a bit of time out the back of this Premier Arena, and it's been incredible just to see the number of volunteers, over 500 of you, the competitors, the friendliness, the competitive spirit, but really a family environment. And this really is a unique event which Hawke's Bay and the equestrian sport should be incredibly proud of. The largest event of its kind in the world. And I've got to take my hat off to Hawke's Bay Horse of the Year Limited, to SMC Events, and everyone that's involved in putting on this event, because it really is world class. On behalf of, thank you. We, like I said, we really love being part of this event. We were hoping to launch the new Defender here this week, sadly. With the current goings-on around the global environment, that was delayed, so it won't be here for another couple of weeks or so. But thank you all for coming out. To all the competitors, congratulations. To the winners, a fantastic effort. And to you, our public who have come out to support this event, we can't thank you enough. And of course, to our loyal customers around New Zealand, we love being associated with this event and what it means. So congratulations, safe travels home, and please stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve, and it's been a great pleasure to have Land Rover back and part of Horse of the Year. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll now ask our winning rider to come forward to receive, first of all, the winning Red jacket, ladies and gentlemen, the 2020 Olympic Cup winner, Brooke Edgecombe, LT Holst, Andrea. So Caitlin and the Stirrups team presenting Brooke with the winner's red coat. A perfect fit of theirs too. We'll now ask Equestrian Sport New Zealand patron Jennifer Miller to present the Rose Bowl to Brooke. And finally, Steve from Land Rover to present Brooke with a great bottle of GH Mum, which I'm sure will go down well tonight. Well, Brooke, 1, 2, 3 clear rounds. You couldn't have asked more of Andrea today, could you?
No, she was amazing. Usually we don't have a lot of gas left in the tank, so when Mel went clear in the second round, I was like, oh, we've got to go again. But she was really good today, yeah, the best.
You mentioned, Mel, putting the pressure on. You're taking you to that third round. You know, what were your thoughts coming in?
Pretty much to just try and go clear again. She's not the fastest, and I knew Mel was quick behind me, so just to go clear again and put the pressure on her, yeah.
We've seen some wonderful courses again built here in the Premier Arena today. How'd you find the course today out there?
Yep, I loved it. I loved all 3 rounds of it. Suited my horse well. Yeah, he builds really encouraging, nice flowing tracks, so they're good to ride.
Well, it's certainly come up well for you today, Brooke. I'll tell you what, I'm going to hold that one so you can now boost that trophy.
Just special thanks go to my husband Oliver, Jeff McVean, who's been an unbelievable help with lessons and things. Vicky Wilson has worked her guts out on my horse all week, and Ewan McIntosh from LT Host, who co-owns Andrea with me. Thank you very much, guys.
Well done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll ask you to put the Rose Bowl in the air. The 2020 Olympic Cup winner, Brooke Edgecombe, LT Host, Andrea. She's going to open it now, why not? The photographers love these moments. She's telling us that Tegan Fitzsimon's better at doing this than she is. Rightio, we're all poised. Let's see if it goes. There we go! Well done, Brooke Edgecombe. Well-deserved win. Yeah, you take that, mate. Yeah, thanks, love. Well done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please also put your hands together for our second place getter. She forced the jump off. Unfortunately, had the rail down. She settled for second place. Quarterflex Graffiti, MH, Melanie Matheson. In third place, she's had another great season, but this time she had to settle for third. Windermere Cappuccino, Tegan Fitzsimon. In fourth place, aboard Corrado, GHP, Annabelle Francis. In fifth place, riding Sarah Cassini, Kimberly Bird. In sixth place, aboard Hinton Fabergé, Emily Forsyth. In seventh, riding Winston V. Drian, it was Drew Carson. In eighth place, aboard Portofino, Lucinda Askin. He entertained us at ninth place getter, Watuna Jonesy, Todd Magna. And finally in 10th, aboard Oak Centurion, Sarah West. Well, you might also look across there at LT Holst Andrea, and this year Stirrups decided they wanted to do something a little bit different from the usual, just the red jacket for the rider, and this year we've got a very special red rug for the winning horse, proudly sponsored by Cavallino in association with Stirrups, and they've been fantastic, supplying all the winning rugs throughout the week. And look at that fine red rug on the back of LT Holst Andrea, nicely matching up with the winning jacket that Brooke is wearing. Well, folks, one more time, we get to celebrate with the great song and celebrate all our winners and place getters here in the Stirrups Olympic Cup as we invite the winning champion to lead them out on a victory lap. Put its hands together for Brooke Edgecombe, LT Holst Andrea.
Best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have
your 2020 Olympic Cup Horse of the Year, LT Holst Andrea and Brooke Edgecombe.
Stand up, stand up.
Let's hear it for second place getter,
for the champion.
Melanie Teagan for Simon there in third as well.
Wow, Brooke Edgecombe and LT Holst Andrea, they are the winners of the 2020 Olympic Cup, sponsored by Stirrups Equestrian. She wins the lovely red jacket, the beautiful Cavallino red rug. Brooke Edgecombe aboard LT Holst Andrea. Bred by LT Holst Sport Horses, and great to have Ewan McIntosh and the team at LT Holst watching via Sky Sport Next. A great congratulations to the whole team, and as we saw in the prize giving there, Brooke thanking trainer Jeff McVean and also Vicky Wilson for her work in equine therapy she does on the horses. Well done, Brooke Edgecombe. It's going to be a story she's going to be able to tell her little daughter. Both mum and dad, Oliver Edgecombe, have won the Olympic Cup. A great way to finish Land Rover Horse of the Year for 2020. Our Olympic Cup winner, and all kudos goes to Brooke Edgecombe and LT Holst Andrea. Great way to finish Land Rover Horse of the Year for 2020. Thank you very much for watching wherever you were around the world with Sky Sport Next. You've been watching here at Land Rover Horse of the Year. Till next year, we'll see you again, and this is over and out from Land Rover Horse of the Year 2020.
Champion, stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, stand up for the champions, stand up for the champions.
The whole Equestrian brand is founded upon the life and the way of life in this part of the world. We want to create fragrances that reflect our lifestyle here and reflect who we are as people. It's important that the environment, the fragrances, the natural waxes and everything play together to create this one beautiful thing.
Ultramox, the multi-worming solution for horses from Bayer.
Ultramox is the only triple active wormer that contains moxidectin. Ultramox is effective against internal parasites of horses, but the addition of moxidectin means that it's also active against encysted cyathostomes. Ultramox was developed in New Zealand and is manufactured in New Zealand for New Zealand horses. Available from your local vet, equine specialty or farm supply store.
Bayer, science for a better life.
Quiz, query, try, spy, take cover, go for a swim, go on a whim, go outside in and inside out. Look once, look twice, follow a compass, not a clock. Never stop discovering.
Hastings is a warm and plentiful district, a place in the sun feeding the world with its abundant riches, glorious fresh fruit and produce, award-winning wines, swimming and biking, fantastic weather and fun in the sun. Hastings has an outstanding landscape, the triple peaks of Te Mata and the stunning Cape Kidnappers with its famous colony of gannets. Hastings is the heart for many of New Zealand's favourite sporting pursuits and attractions. The business and retail precinct is at the top of its game. At the helm, its innovative, hard-working community, a diverse global and Hastings is a warm and plentiful district, a place in the sun feeding the world with its abundant riches, glorious fresh fruit and produce, award-winning wines, swimming and biking, fantastic weather and fun in the sun. Hastings has an outstanding landscape, the triple peaks of Te Mata and the stunning Cape Kidnappers with its famous colony of gannets. Hastings is the heart for many of New Zealand's favourite sporting pursuits and attractions. The business and retail precinct is at the top of its game. At the helm, its innovative, hard-working community, a diverse global and Māori culture enrich our district. Our kete is now full to the brim. Come and bask in the bounty of the Hastings district, the heart of Hawke's Bay.